come on here and do a video talking about narcissists and narcissistic abuse relating to health issues and different things like that. So I kind of wanted to start out. Basically, I just did this video, this program that I'm in, and in the program, she talks about how to heal your health through your own mind, basically, and it's all about like mind body connection and how healing your health really starts with your thoughts and your belief systems and all of those kind of things. So in the program tonight, she went on about this one lady came on the video, and she was talking about her health issues and how she'd been diagnosed with Lyme disease and all of these different health issues, and how she really felt like she was just like suffering and like struggling, and like she just like wondering like why God or like the universe would have her suffer or have her go through what she had to go through. And what she said was she had her go through this exercise, and it was really about like accepting the fact that she had gone through all of these things and allowing herself to process that and to be okay with the fact that she had been suffering, or she still was suffering. And in order to heal it, she kind of accepted it first in order to lift the energy a little bit. And then she went into this idea about the movie The Never-Ending Story, which is one of my favorite childhood stories. So in the movie, it's kind of portrayed as this childhood story, but really it's really profound and deep. It has really deep spiritual meanings, and I really think it's talking about the spiritual awakening. And so she kind of explained that in this movie, the main character has to go through all of this suffering and all of these trials and tribulations in order to reach the end. And in the end, he realized it was like basically like very simple, like to find the answer. Like, and it was like, you mean I had to go through all of that in order to like come to something very simple, which was just naming a name of the princess, coming up with a name for the princess, and that the boy that was reading the story was the one who had to come up with it. And in order to like believe him, he had to go through the journey. He had to lose his horse. He had to go through facing himself, going through all of these trials and stuff in order to really have an understanding that he was the creator. He was the creator of the universe, and that everything that he created would go out into the universe. And I really love that she used that metaphor, because like I've heard that before. I've heard it in other contexts, but when it really comes down to thinking about our health and thinking about situations and suffering that we go through in this life, like it's really hard to like believe that like we are the creators of it. And I know I was going to touch on the narcissistic abuse part of it. So it's not to say that you created the narcissist and that they are the ones that, you know, that you're not, I don't want to say the victim, but you're not the person that went through what the narcissist put you through. I'm not saying that. I am saying that in a sense it is, because everything within you is creating your reality. And I had to come to terms with this too, and I still am grappling with this, because it's so much easier to look at the outside and say like they're doing this to me and I'm the victim. But it's a lot harder to go within and to realize what part of me the codependent in me created a situation where I felt like I wasn't good enough. So I created somebody on the outside that I thought would be the savior of that would make me feel good enough, that actually was reinforcing the wound within me that was already hurting and already felt not good enough. And I think that pattern is what creates health issues. It's not necessarily the narcissist itself. It's the pattern of wanting something outside to fulfill you when you're not whole. And whenever we're looking to the outside, whenever we're looking for something to validate us, to feel, and honestly almost always does the opposite. It almost always does the opposite, where it actually, when you're trying to gain that love outside of yourself, that person then invalidates you even more and ends up being a messenger of a wound that you have yet to heal. And often people, with good cause, end up retreating and believing that. They believe that. It keeps getting ingrained more and more. So the more people that I'm like trying to seek outside of myself, okay, maybe if I prove to them that I'm good, like that I'm good enough, then I'll be worthy. Then I can be loved. And the more we try to do that, and the more they invalidate us, the more we feel like we're not good enough, and we keep, it's layers and layers and layers of that. And I think that's what creates health issues, because we're stuck under all of these layers of like, we're not good enough, we're not worthy enough, that we can't be loved for who we truly are. And most of society is living like this. And I'm not saying that like I have it all figured out, because I'm still unraveling all of these layers myself. And I've been really thinking about kind of what we've gone through in the past 3 years. And I know I've talked a little bit about this, but for me, I was a lot in the victim mentality, because I really felt that I still was seeking that approval and love from outside of myself. So then when I went against some of the narrative and I was ostracized, and I felt like a lot of my friends and family kind of turned against me, of course it was reinforcing the idea that I wasn't good enough. And so it put me deeper into that feeling and that pressure. And I think after, 3, almost like 4 years of that, it's been an accumulation in my system that has created illness and injury for me. So I think what really started out for me, my literally breaking point, was last August. Almost a year now, I broke my foot. And that was right. I was actually angry that night, because I was seeking somebody outside of myself. This guy was actually interested in me, and I was talking to him at a bar, and he invalidated some of my choices during COVID and really said some nasty things. And at first it was like, I'm gonna say my piece because I want to feel validated or want to feel good enough. But then when he like lashed back at me, it was just this like, oh my God, like I can't take this anymore. This is my breaking point. I can't do it anymore. And my body heard that, and it was like, okay, well, it's your breaking point. Careful what you wish for. And basically I stepped into a hole that night and I broke my foot. And so a month and a half on crutches. And then I was partially weight bearing. And then I had to do physical therapy for like 3 months. So that was a long time for me to really like sit in that energy of like, do you really know that you're good enough yet, or do you still think you're not good enough? Because during that time I felt like a burden. I felt like, everything that I wanted to do, like I couldn't drive. I needed help showering. I needed help getting things. I couldn't carry something from one room to another. It was just like I felt like a child again, and it felt like this huge setback. And I was just like, I fell deeper into the, of course this happened because I'm not good enough. And it's not true. That wasn't true. But like it just kept making it even more validated. And I did a lot of work. I went to a lot of healers. I did a lot of clearing on it, but I don't think I really like kind of got the message. And so as life would have it, I've kind of been sent into another health issue and stuff to be able to clear this feeling, I believe. So a couple months ago, I ended up going to the hospital, and basically what the official diagnosis is now is IBS, and I've just been having a lot of challenges with my diet, changing my diet and changing all these things and trying to figure it out and trying to manage it and trying to and when I watched that video that I was talking about with the program that I'm taking, it was like I had a sigh of relief. And it was like after the past 3 years and what I've gone through, I've been looking at it like there's these evil people out there that are controlling and manipulating me and causing people to get sick and all of these things that I've really and it feels hopeless. It feels like there's nothing we can do about that. And what I like that she said as well is she was using the metaphor of the coyote and roadrunner. And basically, coyote tries to put anything in the path to destroy the roadrunner and to make him fall or make him put an anvil on his head. But the roadrunner isn't thinking, oh my god, I'm so afraid of what the coyote is gonna do. What is he gonna do next? He's just like, no, I got this. He's like, I'm gonna move 2 steps here. I'm gonna move, I'm gonna run away right away. And he somehow gets away because he's not really he's in the now. He's not thinking about what the coyote could do. And I just love that as a metaphor for what's going on right now, because I feel like a lot of some of my health issues also is an accumulation of what's gonna happen next, and these fears, these intense fears of being thwarted and all of these things. And I'm just you know what? Maybe I could just be the roadrunner. Maybe I could just realize that everything is going to be okay. And I know that sounds so cliche, but I think that if we really look at it and we really believe that we can heal ourselves, and that we are the creators, and then they have no power over us. And I think that it's important for us to really look at those ways that we're allowing others, anything outside of ourselves, to have power over us, whether it's giving into the I'm not good enough mentality, or really thinking things that it's doom and gloom and the end of the world. And those can all lead to health issues. And I think that's really what I mean when I say narcissistic abuse can cause health issues, because I really think it's more so the belief that they have the power versus you have the power. And I think that's a good way to end this this little video. So if you're new here, please subscribe to my channel and please like it. And I will let you guys know of any upcoming events or things that I'm doing. I'm in the process of getting certified as a trauma-informed life coach specializing in narcissistic abuse. So I will keep you up to date when I am fully certified, and I'll start taking on some clients. All right, thank you guys so much. All right.